A faithful man never need evidence to believe, but still he gotta work for the blessings that he receives. Let's go.
Sometimes it's hard to believe in what you don't see. I understand, but the picture is so much bigger than what we could even imagine. It's wonderful better when the waves of the world make you feel sadder. Put your faith into action.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Good Life. I am back again with my girlfriend, Elizabeth, and we're doing part 2 of Mixed Messages in Society. We're gonna keep it real tonight, okay? We like being controversial. Controversial for the Lord. All right, so tonight I kind of want to talk about, last week we talked about like materialism and just the struggle of keeping God in the center of your life over things that don't really matter. So tonight we're going to talk about the mixed messages in society with like your self-worth. And I think this is a huge topic for any age, girls, boys, whatever. So we basically, right now our culture is, we're just constantly chasing after people, living for social media popularity, constantly comparing their lives to celebrities, what we see on TV, the internet. Like, we have so much value still on these worldly concepts and things rather than God. And that's become the norm, like we were talking about. And you know, people just want to be popular and relevant and rich and famous and flashy and perfect. That's the goal in life now. And that's the cool thing to do. And somewhere along the line, being you is no longer cool. Being Christian is no longer cool. And loving yourself, your body, your quirks, you know, because you're human. Somewhere along the way, that message has gotten very mixed up. So the verse for tonight, this is one of my favorite verses ever. Galatians 1:10. For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ. And that verse, every time I read it, I'm like, you're right. I'm not here to serve anyone but God. And it gets confusing. So we were just kind of talking about like if you're having a bad day these days, you turn to the internet, you're bored, whatever. You turn to the internet, you're looking at social media. Yeah, you're gonna vent, or you just start scrolling, and it's like now you're just sucked into this world. And it's so easy to be sucked in. It's so easy to just be negative and stay negative the whole day because you're seeing all these things and, well, I'm already mad, and now I'm saying, oh, they got this new stuff. Well, now I'm even madder. And it's a cycle.
It's so easy to get sucked into the feeling of it. Like, I can have a really good day and then jump on Facebook and it's like, you know, all the energy you read from it, like what you read and take in, what you watch, what you listen to, you know.
Take on these other people's ventings, like just reading it sometimes,
You only have enough grace to get through the day for you, not for everybody else's problems. So, I mean, even when it comes to friends that are gossiping, you gotta almost kind of watch what they turn to you for and what they vent to you for, because it can be very destructive to yourself.
It gets tiring too. I used to be around a lot of gossipers, and it turned me into a little bit of a gossiper. Yes, we're normal, we're human, keeping it real. But I started to realize, like, this is the context of our friendship. Like, just you gossiping to me and I'm listening. I'm like, I can't, there's nothing important in this. Like, there's no value. So, you know, that's a harsh truth. I think I really try to make no room for any type of negativity, whether if it comes from friends or whether if it comes from family, just any, even from myself, because I can wake up and be like, oh, my skin or and I'm like, no, you look great. No, I try not to even go there. I try to stay, check yourself in the beginning of the day. And I think it's hard for a lot of people to check themselves because they don't know where to start. And a couple of things for me that I wrote down is, I will prosper if I think only of what God says. I'll be successful, peaceful, overcome every obstacle, so long as if I fix my mind on His word every day and every night, my future becomes my thoughts. And like I said, positivity is the only thing that I have, you know, room for in my life now. And I feel like everyone around you can be so negative, telling you what you should be or what you shouldn't be, and, you know, what you should have and what you shouldn't have, and what you should do with what you have. And I don't know, I think it matters the most of what you think of you. And if you can't stop and check yourself throughout the day and just, no, I'm good, I'm gonna breathe it out.
Breathe just be happy and remind yourself, like, okay, that was just a thought, that was just a bad thought, and redirect your thoughts, then you'll be okay. But if you can't do that, then you're gonna turn to the world and vent when you should be turning to, you know, the creator of the world. Praying, you know, praying and venting to God, not jumping online and telling everybody how much you hate this and hate that, and you know, what should you do about this and what should you do about that. It looks like, you know, some people are seeking for attention from people who don't even care about them, who people will just make fun of you.
And like you said in that, if you're not focused on God, then it is so easy to take to the world to vent or for advice. And let me tell you what worldly advice and worldly venting gets you. It makes you feel good in the moment, and then after that, it doesn't solve anything.
Then you go back to being miserable.
Anything, and you're still there. But if you would take a minute to stop, because as adults, if you don't check yourself at least once a day, then I don't feel like you're really living the adult life. Because if you don't have to go in the bathroom or something, at one point you'd be like, please don't let me kill these people. All right, let me, you know, like, if you don't have those moments, then you're not living. But you have to know how to recognize, like, hold on, let me go back to my roots. My roots are God, and that's all I'm trying to, like, all I need is God. What does God's word say about it? If I'm worried, whatever the case is, what does God say about that? Because like you said, can we talk to the creator? That's all that matters. I want to talk to the creator because he has all the answers.
And if you can just remind yourself of those things, it makes me feel better. I don't know about anyone else, but it makes me feel better throughout the day. Like, I'm like,
and you can talk to God, you can pray. It's not even venting. It's like,
and you don't have to worry about him running back and telling anyone else.
I'm talking to you, and then at some point you're actually going to answer my prayer with an answer like what to do. So, but we still do it. We're human. We're going to go to other people for advice.
I mean, I come to you for a lot of things. Like, there's some things that I pray about a lot of things, but I can be so repetitive that I'm like, I gotta call Alyssa and be like,
sometimes it's good to have like your Christian buddy to be like, hey,
you can God gab with.
Yeah, I think that's fine. So let's see. And like we talked about last week, you know, it's not the popular thing. And even last month, in the secular world that we live in, we're like the subcategory. It's not like we're in a Christian world and other people in it.
We used to be in schools. They took it out of schools, and it's like it started little by little going away, and then you're frowned upon.
Yeah. And now it's just like, it's almost taboo to, you know, like, no one wants to talk about religion at all. They're like, oh, you know, no, it's like a scary topic.
You're that crazy Jesus person.
Yeah, and it just shouldn't be that. Like, so how do we, and you know what is funny about that? Back in Bible days, you know, it wasn't all that popular either to be Christian. That's how Jesus ended up.
That's true. So,
you know, they were like, hold on, who's this guy spreading this good word? Like, it's too good of a message. Wait, this is too good to be true. We're gonna crucify you. That'll solve it.
No.
Still here. So how do we stand firm in our beliefs and not get discouraged by the world's reaction? And like, how can we use that as an example for other people seeing how God works in our life? I know for me, I don't know if anyone like looks up to me or anything. That'd be cool. But I know a lot of times I have to stop and pray about things. And when I give advice to friends, we're all giving like godly Christian advice, and like, and it makes me feel good, and
that I can bring certain things to you and talk to you about,
and
like,
it's realistic stuff.
Like, what did I tell you? I'll give like a little. I was like asking you, is it wrong that I keep going over something over and over after I've already given it to God?
Oh,
and you're like, yeah, because you didn't fully give it to him, and the situation I was in wasn't really about the situation. I felt like God was testing to see if I would give it to him and let it go, and I couldn't really let it go until you said that. And I think even after, I was still kind of like 1, 2, 3. You were like, stop it.
But see, it's good to have Christian buddies they'll check you too, but it's not necessarily like, I'm not even giving you advice. I've went through this and God told me what to do and I learned this, so yeah, let me help you now. And that's just how we bounce back off each other. And I think that's what we need to make society. Like, us Christians, we really need to be bold. It's now or never. Like, now's the time to like be okay with doing that in public. Be okay with giving that advice, and be okay even if they're not religious. You know, be okay to say,
because I'm not gonna keep my mouth closed to like make you comfortable. I'm sorry, you can't be around me because I'm not that.
I'm gonna give you godly advice over worldly advice. I'm gonna give you true information from what I know is true, and you can take it or leave it. That's fine. I'm not gonna press it on you. You know?
It's nothing that you're
religious.
forced
That's
into.
cool, do you? But
Yeah, and you're
but
definitely
this is
not
me.
judged.
Yeah, this is who we are. So this is the only advice I got. That's all I know.
That's all I can tell you. So I'd be the wrong one to come to if you don't want to
My
hear
life
that.
good. So life is pretty good on this side. I'm just trying to teach you. So the other question I have for self-worth. How does social media influence people's view on their self-worth? And what does God say about our self-worth?
Ooh, he says
Controversial.
that is. He says that we are wonderfully that we are wonderfully, fearfully made and created in His image. And if you believe anything less, then you're saying He's wrong.
Ooh.
And I don't think He's ever been wrong.
Whoa. That's real, yeah.
And so
Yeah, that's
I think social media can make you feel like, you know, you're less than.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
you
it's
can
easy
take.
because you
I
see
mean,
everyone, perfect body, perfect thing.
and their
They got all the nice
filters
stuff.
or their
Build the bodies.
Yeah, they're just. It's not real. It's fake. Like a lot of things are so fake, and you see a picture and you're like, you know, I gotta have the perfect this or the perfect that, and I think being perfect is just being yourself.
Yeah, I just wonder, you know, before you start becoming fascinated with other people, like you have to know if that person, like, are you really happy at the end of the day? Because if I'm trying to idolize you or like,
Do they even like the life
love
that you're
you.
idolizing?
yeah, like you could have the worst life behind that picture and no one would know it because you're putting this facade on for the world. And that's what like these kids nowadays are seeing. Oh, I can become rich and famous. I can just become like a YouTube star,
Well, because
Instagram
people,
star.
they're not going to put up their bad stuff. They're putting up what they want you to see. They're not putting up, you know, the downs and the ups and the this and the that.
Some do, and I appreciate that
Yeah.
because I like to see normal people living.
But still, and sometimes I don't appreciate it. I'm like, I don't think this is the place for it.
Or yeah, sometimes it gets too real.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think,
So it has its ups and downs.
yeah, people just strive so much to, I feel like right now, social media is all about impressing people. You are just basically posting and to figure out, it's not even like getting likes for some people, it's how can I impress these people? How can I make them think I'm cool? How can I
Make them think I have
think I
this
have
or
this
something I
great
don't, or
life.
that I'm happy and I'm not.
Yeah, and if you do, if you're just that person that has it all, cool, good for you. You live a great life. If
But,
not,
but isn't there, I can't remember exactly what it says or how it says it, but I know it's wrong to be boastful.
yeah.
To constantly, you know.
And that's a hard struggle of like, you know, I'm doing good in life, I want to post about it, but I don't want it to be.
And you can't be boastful and humble, but you're
Yeah.
ugly on the other side of that keyboard or
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think our society has put so much value on the social media stuff now, especially for kids growing up in this generation where you're
I don't
growing
want my
up
kids
as
to
a
have
kid.
social media.
Yeah.
They're not going to have it.
But it's all around them, and it's just, that's what's real in the world.
And I know it'll be easy for them to access their kids too,
Mhm.
but I just don't. If you don't define and tell your kids who they are, the world will. And
Oh.
if you don't define and tell yourself
That's
who you
real.
are, the world will.
Yeah.
And that's where the insecurities come from. That's where
Yeah.
the trying to make yourself this perfect image.
Yeah, let me tell you, there's no one perfect but God.
Okay.
And if we're made in God's image, you're all right. You're doing okay already. Like, I'm just trying to let people know, like, we're on track already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and God just wants us to live a simple life, guys. He just wants us to live, be happy, be successful, do good things. You know, he just wants us to read the Bible, praise him. That's all he cares about. That's literally the only like criteria that we're supposed to do to follow our life, and
Yeah.
that's all he wants us to do. And somehow we've like put this like, okay, I'm gonna do that in life, but then I also need to do, I need this, and I have to have this and this and this, and I gotta look this way and do this way. God doesn't say it. God just, that's all I need from you.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm asking for.
I agree. I think that some people can be so materialistic, and they can get so lost in this cyber world, they forget that this real world
Exists. Yeah, like if social media shut down, like accidentally would it like
I
unplug the
remember
cord?
being a kid and we didn't have social
What?
media. What did we have? Yahoo Messenger?
We had outside.
We had outside.
We played outside. But we did have AOL internet.
Everyone has a phone
But
or
yeah.
an iPad or a
Oh my
something
gosh.
to access.
I
the
just worry
internet.
about like people that are solely defined on their social media worth? If it shuts down, who are you? Who are you outside of that?
If it was to go away, because it's really a privilege.
Yeah.
Social media is a huge privilege, not only for like marketing and communicating, but it's a privilege. It's a privilege we have that we take for granted, and then we use as a platform to belittle others or make others feel less than.
Yeah. When really we are more than, if you pay attention. So another verse I have that ties in, Galatians 6:3. Man, Galatians is like the most random chapter, but it has some solid verses. So Galatians 6:3 says, "For if anyone thinks he is something when he is nothing, he deceives himself." And not to say that we're nothing, but without God, like, you know, God's just trying to say, I am. God is the I am. You're nothing. And not in a messed up way.
And he's first, and you are. It's like, it's more like my favorite thing, like I am second.
Yeah,
Like
so
those
if
shirts
you
that say
think,
I am second, God's first.
yeah, you're deceiving yourself if you think you're anything more than my child, I think is what he's trying to say. And so when we try to put these labels on us, like, no, now I'm a model and that's all that I'm about, or I'm a makeup artist, that's all. No, you're deceiving yourself.
Yeah.
You're God's child.
You're actually limiting yourself, because
Yeah.
you could be so much more, do so many other things. You're not limited to just this one thing that you think you are. There's so many other things, you know, seeds of greatness planted in you that are waiting to be watered and nurtured and loved by God so he can show you.
But some people miss that opportunity. That's a great point. You might miss the opportunity to water your seeds because you're so focused on this other part of the world. You're so drawn in and focused to, I gotta be this and do this, and you're working to achieve these goals here. But if you really
can
just
literally
pay
miss
attention,
your timing on things.
Yeah.
You can literally miss your timing and miss your mark and miss your shot for where you were supposed to prosper. And it's not like you won't grow. It's not like you won't get somewhere. It's just you gotta reroute.
Yeah.
Not
So
always,
just like you said, yeah.
it's not always us, you know, being tested more as we're falling off the right path.
And he's laid it out for you. So yeah, I think that's the whole concept of this mixed message series. Mixed message. I always mess with that. I'm like a list, secret list. Mixed message series.
Say it too fast, you'd be like, blah, blah, blah.
So a big part of the mixed message series is because I want to do this because it's just like there's so many things happening and it's so easy to get lost. But if you just stop and focus on God, like your life will be so abundantly successful. But it's hard. We're human. It's hard. Everything's around us. I get it. I've been there.
Because it takes you time to
still
acquire
there
the faith and the trust and everything that you pour into your relationship. But I think that
it takes a lot to not care about everything else.
Well, I think like the most beautiful journey that you go on in life is the journey and the relationship that you seek with God.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most
And once
fun.
you really have like a concrete relationship with him, you're never gonna want to let that go. That's gonna fuel you, I think, more than anything. Like now that I'm really consistently like reading a little bit of the Bible every single day, that I look forward to that when I come home, and I feel like I can't go on it. I can't
spending time with
do
God.
it. Yeah, I can't have like a good day without that.
But just church on Sunday doesn't fill me, or sometimes I don't always make it to church, and I know that if I don't have my spirit filled and filled up by God, by the Holy Spirit, I feel like
what else is it gonna be filled with then?
exactly everything
The
else,
world.
everything else that everyone else pours into you, and you may not be aware of it. You may not be noticing it. It's just like
it's almost like brainwash. You don't know it.
You don't realize it. You don't realize it, and if you don't master checking yourself, and you don't put your ego to the side and your pride to the side, which is very hard for some people, you can get lost. You can get lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. Like even in Bible days, they got so fixated on trying to be like good Christians in the church. They became so fixated on like these sacrifices, these rituals. Like that became like you're not cool unless you got the cool animal to sacrifice. And it's like y'all took like people started getting brainwashed. Yeah, it's like you started focusing so much on that you forgot about the actual church. And now I see that happen in like today's world just a little differently. It's like all this other stuff is like that's more important than God. And it's a mixed message.
Mixed messages.
Mixed message. Fix your life. Center yourself for God. Check yourself throughout the day. Stop and when you're having a moment where you just need to vent before you go on social media, stop, take a breath, talk to God, pray, read a little Bible verse.
It'll help. It'll make you feel better.
Yeah, and then see if you still want to vent about it, or if you still feel like you need to, if you're convicted to tell the world.
Right. I just feel like that's the wrong place to turn.
But yeah, like, why would I want to get advice from? Like I said, it's okay to get advice from people. It's okay to get 5 people's opinions on something. But if you didn't ask God, like if you didn't stop out of those 5 people and ever ask God, then you have 5 opinions. You don't know which one is right. Like, God is your center, He's your compass, He's the truth. So unless you ask God, now He could show you, I'm in agreement because all 5 of these people told you the same thing.
With your confirmations, I have 3 confirmations that I ask for.
Yeah.
I'm like, please give me 3, and then it's like one after the other, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we still wait for these signs, but it's just like, just talk to God. He will
show you and guide you and direct you and lead you in the right place.
And for those people that are still like, I talk to God when I'm frustrated and I don't hear back from Him. Do you do it consistently? Like, because if I don't talk to you on a consistent basis and you tell me something, I might take it out of context or not understand it because I don't know who you are really. I don't know how you talk to people. I don't know if this is normal for you. I don't know you that well.
Yeah.
So if you don't know God that well, you're gonna miss what He's trying to tell you.
You're gonna miss the point. I believe that too. I think that's a good point.
Well, great discussion again. Thank you, my wonderful guest, Elizabeth.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Let us know what y'all think. Drop some comments.
Comment, subscribe, like us, and stay tuned for next week. A more mixed message series on The Good Life TV. Have a good night.
Bye.